I'm going to talk about fear and how I refuse to live in fear anymore. I'm talking about fear of everything that's going on in this world. And before I do, just look at these flowers and look at the bee. That's a real bumblebee. Look how fluffy he is and big and round. And this flower bush is covered in these bees. They're everywhere, the big ones, and they're hard to find because there's another species of bee, and I'm going to show you that in a minute. Where is it? Okay, that's the big bumblebee, and then there's a little bee that's got no fur on it, and it looks a bit like a wasp. There it is. It looks like a wasp. This is an invader bee. This is not natural to our country. And it's killing the bumblebees. Anyway, just look at this old stump here. Isn't it beautiful? Covered in moss and things. Yeah, so I just wanted to talk about how I am made up my mind. I'm refusing to live in fear. And when you're a truth seeker and you go down many rabbit holes, many conspiracy theories, they're called conspiracy theories. A lot of them aren't conspiracy theories, a lot of them are probably fact, but they're labelled conspiracy theories. You learn a lot about this world that's just not nice. It's just ugly. It's evil, it's ugly, it's corrupt, it's wrong on every level. And then you find out that you're like, what's my conclusion? You have no power. You have no freedom. This is what you learn about this world, that we're like all slaves and we're all owned. And when you find this out, the first response is to you want to reject it, and then you want to protest it, and then you want to change it, and it could do nothing but destroy your life. Actually, I've seen so many truth seekers and conspiracy theorists whose lives have been ruined by knowing the truth and then trying to change the world and trying to expose the corruption in this world. It's ruined their life, literally. They've and half of me thinks, well, is it really worth it? Is it really worth it? I don't think so. I think that you need to focus on what's good in this world and stay true to that and make the most of what you have got, what freedoms you do have, and be grateful for what you do have and what freedoms you do have. It could be anything, because there's too much fear mongering going on. People in the truth community claiming that they're trying to kill us, and we're all doomed, and maybe it's true, maybe it's not, but say that an injection is going to do it, and this is the way that they're going to do it. If they really wanted to kill everyone, there are 101 other ways they can do it, and it would be a lot more efficient and a lot faster than an injection. I do believe there's a lot of fear-mongering going on. It's irrational. There's a lot of it is not based on facts at all. And it's just producing more, like I said, more fear in people. I think less worry and more strength. People need to have strength and be brave, not sitting there conspiring up ways that they're going to be destroyed in this world, because it's probably not actually going to happen anyway. And if it was, and if that's your fate, so be it. There's nothing that you can do about it, to be honest, because the powers that be, they will do whatever they want to do, essentially, at the end of the day, and they really do have that power. I'm just grateful that my masters have given me fresh water, electricity, I'm able to drive a car, or I have transport, and I actually do have a decent life, even if I am owned, even if I am a slave, even if my footprint was taken at birth and sent to the Vatican to my masters, my slave owners who own my ass. I'm still able to have a fairly decent life. And I'm just like, make the most of it. It's what you focus on grows. So I'm like, stop focusing on fear. Stop thinking that everyone, including the government, is out to get you. It may be true, it may be not true. Then why is it that you've just woken up in the morning and you're still able to function and you're still able to do your basic stuff? If they really wanted to do you in, they would just do you in already. They have that much power, they can do that. And, there's lots of countries where they do. They literally are destroying countries all around the world. But no one's protesting that, are they? No, they're just protesting what freedoms they already have in their country, where they already have a lot more freedom than most people do in the rest of the world. And if these new vaccines they're bringing out were designed to ruin our health and destroy us, why are they giving them to nurses and doctors first? That just doesn't make any sense at all, if that was actually the case, if that's actually what's really going on. How, like, a lot of these truther channels will lead you to believe that, it's a mass culling going on. For the reasons I've just stated, I can't really see it, to be honest. It makes no sense. Why would they want all the doctors and nurses to go first? Because they're the ones who will probably be getting a vaccine when it does come about first. Because for what I've gathered, we're already being genetically modified. We're already being experimented on with the food, the air, the water, frequencies, everything. If they really wanted to just destroy us, they could do it. Just with one zap, they have this power to do it. Why would they waste all this money on injections, which is costing them a fortune to create and do, when there's a lot of faster, cheaper ways to do it? If they want to get rid of us all and destroy all of us, there's a lot of faster, quicker, cheaper ways to do it. And they have the technology to do this. Why would they waste all their time and money on injections when there are a lot of easier ways of getting rid of us? This is where I honestly, I think it's the paranoia. It's called paranoia and fear. Fear and paranoia has to stop. People need to be strong. You need to be reasonable. You need to be a little bit level-headed. You need to use some common sense and not go off the crazy deep end too far. I've been there. I've done it. I went down those rabbit holes, and honestly, it can send you insane. It will send you freaking insane, and you really are powerless to do anything about it. What will be, will be. You are powerless. You really are just that. You are owned. We are all owned, okay? The faster and quicker you just accept the facts, the better. And get on with your life and be grateful. You do have a lot of privileges in this world that a lot of slaves wouldn't have and don't have. Especially if you're in the first world countries. So just be grateful for what your masters do allow you to have. And your world will change when you change your attitude. You need to have strength. You need to be brave. You need to face these things with bravery, not with fear, not with fear-mongering, not with paranoid delusions and scaremongering, because this is essentially what's happening in a lot of the truth community and with a lot of these so-called truthers. A lot of it is over-exaggerated paranoia, essentially. It's not based on common sense or even solid facts. And that's why a lot of these channels who do this and spread this fear are being shut down. This is why they're shutting them down, because they're irrational. There's no, and I used to be one. This is why I'm saying I've changed my tune, I've changed my mind, because I used to be one. I used to be irrational. I went down this rabbit hole, and it's a very deep and dark one, and it can destroy your life, and it can destroy your mind. And I've seen it do this to a lot of these truthers here on YouTube, that literally have been destroyed by it, because they've let it consume them and eat them up, and it's not a healthy place to be. That's what I'm trying to say. It's not healthy. Yeah, you can know the truth. I'm not telling people to be ignorant. What I'm saying, in my opinion, and what's helping me in my world, is not to focus on it. To switch off the freaking news, because it creates fear. Honestly, anything that's creating fear lowers your vibration, and you need to be strong. You need to be healthy. You don't need to be weakened by fear, and fear is one of the worst frequencies that you can have in right now for your health. It's one of the worst frequencies. Like I said, there's nothing to fear. If they really want to be done with you, they will just be done with you, okay? Discussing the ways and the evils and how and the ins and outs and all the little secret conspiracies and the, nefarious ways of how they're going to go about it, and you're going to expose it. You're not going to do anything, okay? Seriously, you're not going to change anything. You're just wasting your time. Just get on with your world, get on with your life, and enjoy it while it lasts, because life is short, and you only have one life to live. And enjoy it. Live in the now. Switch it all off. Just disconnect for a while. I'm not saying be ignorant to what's going on. Be aware, but don't let it consume you to the point where it sends you friggin' insane. And it's fear. It's just complete and total and utter fear. And I'm just like refusing to be a part of this fear anymore, because it's irrational fear. And this is what's causing all the problems. This is what's causing all these riots and protests around the world. It's all this fear-mongering going on. And it doesn't want any good. It's making everything worse, not better. You've got to focus on yourself and your own world, and making that better. And, this worry and fear, it doesn't help anyone. It's just helping them be miserable about their lot and their life, whereas they could be just grateful that they have clean water, they have electricity, they have a bed to lie in, they have clean, good food, they actually have the choice as to what they can eat most of the time. They do have more freedoms than most other slaves in the world do, in a lot of third world countries where they really do live in abject poverty and really do have horrible lives. If you're living in the Western world, you are blessed, and best you start recognising it, how blessed you are, and show a bit of gratitude. And stop the whinging, the complaining, the bitching about stuff that's out of your control and you can't do anything about it. And if they really want you gone, you will be gone. They will just do it. They don't have to be sneaky about it. They don't have to go behind your back. They don't have to plan sneaky ways of how they're going to do it. They will just do it. Okay? Just like they do in everywhere else that they want to destroy. Every other country they want to destroy, they just go ahead and do it. That's what war is. And no one protests that, do they? No, I don't see anyone protesting war. So it's just all friggin' BS. BS is what it is. And I'm going to have no part in it anymore. I'm just going to carry on and enjoy the rest of my life, what little I have left of it, and and be grateful, and focus on that, and be brave, and focus on being brave, and facing things. Part of being brave is accepting the world the way it is, and then adapting to it. You have to learn to adapt. There's some things that you can't fight. There's some things that you can't change. And one of them is that, you know, we are born slaves, we will die slaves. Okay? And when you know this information, and you know it's true, there's no point fighting it. Just be grateful that your slave masters are actually giving you a half decent life, and you can actually make it a better one. And yeah, that's my thoughts on fear mongering, and why I am choosing to have nothing to do with it anymore, as it did send me round the bend, and made me go insane, temporarily insane. Anyway, don't forget to hit the subscribe button, like, share if this resonated with you, and I'll see you in the next one. Bye for now.